The Trojan War stands as one of the most enduring tales from Greek mythology, a sweeping epic of love, betrayal, heroism, and divine intervention that has captivated audiences for nearly 3 millennia. At its heart lies Helen of Troy, renowned as the most beautiful woman in the world, whose abduction or elopement with the Trojan prince Paris sparked a decade-long conflict between the kingdoms of Greece and Troy. This legendary war, immortalized in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey, blends mythological elements with tantalizing hints of historical truth, creating a story that continues to resonate across the centuries. The divine origins of conflict. The seeds of the Trojan War were sown in the realm of the gods. According to Greek mythology, the conflict originated from a quarrel between 3 Olympian goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, over who was the most beautiful. When Eris, the goddess of discord, wasn't invited to the wedding of Peleus and Thetis, she retaliated by tossing a golden apple inscribed with the words, "To the fairest," among the divine guests. Zeus, unwilling to judge between his wife Hera, daughter Athena, and Aphrodite, appointed Paris, a Trojan prince raised as a shepherd, to make the fateful decision. Each goddess offered Paris a bribe. Hera promised power and dominion over Asia. Athena offered wisdom and military prowess, while Aphrodite tempted him with the love of the world's most beautiful woman, Helen of Sparta. Paris awarded the apple to Aphrodite, thereby earning the eternal enmity of Hera and Athena, while setting in motion events that would lead to war. This judgment of Paris became the mythological catalyst for one of history's most famous conflicts, Zeus' Helen of Sparta. The fatal prize. Helen's origins were as extraordinary as her beauty. Most accounts name her as the daughter of Zeus, who had seduced her mother Leda in the form of a swan, though some versions claim her mother was the goddess Nemesis. Born from an egg in Sparta, Helen grew to become renowned throughout Greece for her unparalleled beauty. Her beauty proved both blessing and curse from an early age. As a young girl, Helen was abducted by Theseus of Athens, though she was later rescued by her brothers Castor and Pollux, the Dioscuri. When it came time for Helen to marry, her suitors included nearly all the princes and kings of Greece. To prevent conflict over her hand, her stepfather Tyndareus made all suitors swear an oath to defend the chosen husband's rights, the famous Oath of Tyndareus. Helen married Menelaus, brother of Agamemnon, who eventually became king of Sparta. Their union produced a daughter, Hermione, and possibly several sons. For a time, Helen lived peacefully as queen of Sparta, until Paris came to claim his divine reward. The abduction, or elopement, that sparked war. When Paris arrived in Sparta as a guest of Menelaus, he found Helen as breathtaking as Aphrodite had promised. The ancient sources differ on what happened next. Some portray Helen as a willing participant who fell in love with Paris and abandoned her husband, children, and kingdom. Others depict her as a victim, forcibly taken by Paris during Menelaus' absence. Whatever the circumstances, Paris departed Sparta with Helen, taking along considerable treasures from the Spartan palace. This violation of the sacred guest-host relationship, xenia, was compounded by Paris's theft of Menelaus' wife and property, offenses that demanded vengeance under Greek moral codes. Menelaus invoked the Oath of Tyndareus, calling upon all of Helen's former suitors to honor their pledge. His brother Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, assembled a massive coalition of Greek forces. The roster of heroes who answered the call included Odysseus of Ithaca, Achilles, the nearly invincible warrior, Ajax the Great, Nestor of Pylos, and many others. Towards the 10-year siege of Troy, the Greek fleet, said to number over 1,000 ships, gathered at Aulis before setting sail for Troy. Archaeological evidence suggests that if such an expedition occurred, it would have taken place in the late Bronze Age, around 1200 BCE. The war dragged on for 10 years according to legend, though historians note that Bronze Age sieges rarely lasted more than a few months. The Iliad focuses primarily on a few weeks in the final year of the conflict, particularly the wrath of Achilles after Agamemnon took his war prize Briseis, and the subsequent death of Hector, Troy's greatest warrior and Paris's brother. The war featured numerous dramatic episodes. The sacrifice of Iphigenia, Agamemnon's daughter, to appease Artemis and secure favorable winds for the Greek fleet. The duel between Menelaus and Paris, where Aphrodite spirited Paris away to safety. Achilles' withdrawal from battle and later return to avenge his beloved companion Patroclus, the deaths of numerous heroes on both sides, including Achilles, shot in his vulnerable heel,